Welcome back to BNG Hockey, where it's always black and gold. I didn't think I'd be making any more trade videos this season, but the Boston Bruins and the St. Louis Blues have struck a deal. Let's talk about it. The Bruins trade Providence Bruins defenseman Brady Lyle to the St. Louis Blues in exchange for future considerations. Now, those of you who are a little confused on how this trade went down, even though there's an NHL trade deadline, you can still make trades after the fact. The only catch is that Lyle won't be able to play for the Blues this season, and he won't be able to play at playoff time. But he will be able to play for their AHL affiliate, the Springfield Thunderbirds, and it's already been reported that he will go directly to the St. Louis Blues AHL team. Lyle is a 22-year-old right-shot defenseman with some size and had some offensive upside his first season with the Providence Bruins. In 25 games that season, he had 7 goals, 7 assists for a total of 14 points, and was a +8. And honestly, I thought he had a good chance of making the Bruins roster out of training camp this season. Their right side was a little weak with guys like Connor Clifton being on the third pair, so I figured if Lyle could continue to raise his level of play, maybe he had a shot of making the big club. That never happened, and honestly, it only got worse for Lyle this season. In 48 games this year, he had 2 goals, 7 assists for a total of 9 points, and was a -7. So not only did his points totals decline a little bit, he became a lot worse of a defender. Going from a +8 to a -7 in more games is pretty surprising because the Providence Bruins are basically the same team this season. So a total of 73 games played, he had 9 goals, 14 assists for a total of 23 points. But this season was a lot different than his first season, so I'm not surprised to see the Bruins move on from him, especially with their organizational depth now. After the trade deadline, they obviously acquired plenty of guys at the NHL level with Lindholm and Josh Brown, but they also acquired Kodie Curran in the Lindholm trade. They have guys like Michael Callahan, who just signed, Tyler Lewington, who actually played a couple games for the Bruins this season, and some of their better younger players like Ahcan. So with all those players passing Lyle on the depth chart in the organization, it's not too surprising to see them move on from the player. I would have preferred they chose a different organization. It's kind of like trading with the Habs or the Leafs. I don't love giving a player to the St. Louis Blues, but it doesn't look like this player is ever going to make it to the NHL level, and it hopefully won't come back to bite us. But he is still young, so hopefully the Bruins do get something in return eventually. Future considerations will mean they get a player for future considerations from the Blues at a later time, or maybe a late round pick. It's kind of like a I owe you one to Don Sweeney. So hopefully they get something from the Blues eventually, but for right now, it's not a big loss for the Bruins, and they still have plenty of depth, even at the AHL level, at the defense position. So let me know your thoughts on Brady Lyle going to the St. Louis Blues down below in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a big like, and if you haven't already, subscribe.